So hi everybody, and welcome to this webinar, Freelancer Study 2023, Today's Status, Tomorrow's Path. A webinar created in partnership between freelance talent platforms Outvise and Freelancer Map. My name is Tora, and I'm from Outvise, so thank you all so much for joining, and I hope you find it an informative session. Now, during this webinar, if you ever have any questions, just feel free to add them to the general chat or the Q&A chat. We'll have a Q&A session at the end. So just so you know what's to come, let me just share with you the agenda. If you can move to the next slide. Thank you. So first we'll have some introductions to the two companies, Freelancer Map and Outvise, then to the speakers, then report highlights, then we'll have the panel discussion, and then finish with the Q&A session. And now, as mentioned, this is a webinar created between Outvise and Freelancer Map. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, Outvise is a global talent marketplace specializing in high-end tech freelancers. We have a community of over 40,000 experts, serving primarily in EMEA, with Germany being one of our most important markets. Outvise is a closed marketplace where clients have an end-to-end service, so request to delivery. And then Freelancer Map was launched in Germany in 2005 as an open marketplace for experienced professionals and experts within the IT and tech field. Since 2012, they've been connecting freelancers and companies outside Germany to make sure IT experts and clients find each other without commission fees. So Freelancer Map is an open marketplace where clients can post projects and search for experts in a self-service way. So we're very happy to have created this webinar together and hope you'll find it beneficial. Now I'd like to hand it over to Stefania Volpe from Freelancer Map, who's our moderator for today's session.
So welcome everybody from my side as well, and thank you, Dora, for the nice introduction, and thank you, Outvise, for having me today in this webinar. So I'm Stefania. I'm a member of the international team at Freelancer Map. I have several years of experience in the product and project management, and since 2021, so almost 3 years now, I'm at Freelancer Map, and I'm helping freelancers and IT professionals in connecting with jobs and clients worldwide. And I'd like also to introduce our panel experts for today, Pau Cerda and Thomas Maas, who are going to share their knowledge and their view about the current freelance market and also the chances that freelancers have. So Pau Cerda is the co-founder of Outvise. He has advised major telecom and media groups in his career path. He's a former consultant of Oliver Wyman, and it's also known for his venture capital expertise and also strong international presence he has. So welcome, Pau, today. And Thomas Maas is the CIO of Freelancer Map since 2011. He's leading the career platform for freelance expert in the German-speaking region, but not only, as Tora said, we have also international platform, and he champions greater recognitions for freelancing, but also for publishing the annual market study Freelancer Compass to highlight freelancers' challenges and market developments. So as Tora mentioned when introducing the agenda today, I'm going to present some of the insights of our Freelancer Report 2023. But before I start, I would like maybe to spend some words and to give you some information about this report. I don't know how many of you already know this study, this report. Since 2016, we are running an annual survey among our freelance community, and with the results we published then this study. The survey is quite comprehensive. We have around 70 questions we asked to the participants, to the freelancers, And we cover different topics, like, for example, the financial situations of the freelancers or their self-employment, the challenges, the mistakes, the benefits, self-marketing strategies, and so on. But we have also some questions regarding, of course, demographic data, and also some regarding future trends and forecasts. But yeah, today, due to time reason, unfortunately, I'm not able to present all the results, but we have picked the most interesting so far. Hope we'll enjoy them. So we can start. So first of all, I would like to give you maybe an overview of the current freelance market and the freelancers feeling in the context of the economic and political situations we are living right now. We could see from the results that the overall sentiment in the freelance market is positive, appears to be positive. However, if we compare the results with the ones of last year, then we can see a slight downward trend in comparison. For example, this year, nearly 60% of the participants, of the respondents, view the current economic situation in a positive way. But this figure was slightly higher. For example, last year, we were around 64%. So this indicates maybe that the uncertainty that freelancers are experiencing right now because of the inflation and recession, that this has an impact at the end on the market. And also a recurring question we have in our survey is about the major challenges that freelancers face during their journey. And the top answer is always the project acquisition. So acquiring new clients, new projects seems to be like the big pain for the freelancers. And this year, according to 61%, was still the major challenge, but last year was slightly less. So we were around 56%, for example. So it seems that project acquisition is becoming a bit harder compared to the last year. And in the latest period at freelancermap, we have also witnessed a drawback of projects published on the platform. For example, projects are not renewed, or there are less new projects. And before the pandemic, the situation was different. The number was stable. Then with COVID and the lockdown and everyone working at home, we experienced an increase of projects. And since more or less last year, March, because of the war and then the inflation and so on, then yeah, we have seen that the number of projects is likely going back. That's because companies want to save money, and they first cut external resources like freelancers, unfortunately. Yeah, so it was another very interesting results from the study. And in general, freelancers are satisfied with their being a freelancer. According to 83% last year, was slightly more, 87%. So as you can see, the results are positive. At some point, they are reflecting the current economic and political situation in the market. As I mentioned before, we cover different topics in our survey, in our study. And one of the most interesting section is definitely the one about the financial situation of the freelancers. And I think the key fact is the average hourly rate of the freelancers this year was around 96 euros per hour, and the rate has been constantly increasing during the last years. Maybe just for you to have a comparison for the DACH region, so the German-speaking countries, the average hourly rate this year was around 100 euros. We could see that there is still a gender gap women are getting paid less than men, on average 11 euros less, but the gap has reduced compared to last year. I think the difference was around 16 euros less for women, so it's a positive trend here. And we've also seen that freelancers who are working in the consulting and the management field are top earners, with around 170 euros per hour, while freelancers who are working in the content and graphic media field, they have the lowest rate, around 68 euros per hour. Also, the average monthly net income is around 6,200 and has also been slightly increasing during the last few years. What has also increased was the financial cushion the freelancers suggest or recommend to have at the beginning of a freelancing career. This year was around 12,000 euro, and it's meant to be a sum to cover more or less the first month of self-employment, also without projects. After the pandemic, the freelancers have learned that the world can change and that it's better to be prepared in any case. So the sum was around 7,000 euros before the pandemic. So you can see it's quite a big change there. And we also ask every year about the income satisfaction of the freelancers. This year, this key figure has slightly decreased from 65% last year to 62% this year. So the hourly rates have increased, but not as much as the costs offshore door, also due to the inflation, and this caused a light disappointment among the freelancers. And this year we had a special section in our report about artificial intelligence, the topic of the year. Topic is not new, of course, but we think that the access to this technology has changed lately. And of course, we wanted to see how the freelancers see this, how they think about it. And one of the questions is about the relevance of specific IT topics in the future. And last year we had IT security in the first place. And this year, of course, was artificial intelligence. So 78% of the freelancers who took part in the survey think that artificial intelligence is a relevant topic for the future. And of course, many of them are already using artificial intelligence-based tools and software in their daily job. They are 41%. And of them, almost everyone is using ChatGPT with 89%. Other tools and software was mentioned, but ChatGPT was at the first place with difference regarding to the rest of the tools. And freelancers are also seeing benefits from using these tools as they improve at the end their efficiency and their productivity due to the automation that these tools offer. So quite an interesting topic there. Yes, so these were some of the most interesting highlights of our report, and we have focused here mostly on the freelancer as a single person. But maybe we could like zoom out a bit and see the freelancer as a part of an ecosystem. And we know that the freelancers are already incorporated in the traditional workforce. And maybe we could start our panel discussion with Pau and Thomas. Which benefits do you think individuals, but also the economy, have from the incorporation of self-employed, of freelancers into the traditional workforce.
Yeah.
Perfect. Who starts? Paul.
Thomas, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, first of Stefania, for the insights. Yeah. What makes it so special if freelancers join the traditional workforce? Most of all, for companies, it's amazing because they gain access to a whole new talent pool, right? Companies often have in Europe, worldwide, have these problems finding new employees, and if they enhance this their thinking and start working with freelancers, they have a whole new pool of new possible workers, and a much broader audience, of course, that they can get, and they can get skills on demand. So if they have some problems in a specific project, they can find someone over a platform like Outvise or freelancermap and get on with their projects.
Yeah. I mean, if I take it from what you see, what you see in the market is that you have like two different kind of companies, right? The ones who understood how to use freelancers, and the ones who are still there, right?
Good point.
I mean, the market starts to understand why they shouldn't use freelancers, right? For me, there are two levels that are very important, right? On one side, the fact that that tech is getting, or tech as an example, right, within the freelancers, but for example, tech is getting every day more specialized. I mean, it's very difficult for a company to have a super cybersecurity expert at the same time, an e-commerce expert, and to be expert on everything, right? So I think it's a good, I mean, that's impossible, right? So I think it's a good way to get expertise from outside. This is in one way, and the second is the agile transformation, man. You have to go so fast today to launch products that somehow freelancing gives you this flexibility that you demand, right? And maybe sometimes I think that the actor who is really the most, in fact, who still doesn't understand why to use freelancers, sometimes are the governments, right? Because in the end, they get a lot of money from social insurance and things like that, right? And I mean, it's relatively easy to sell it to a company. But in the end, we also need a proper regulation behind that. And that's something that not governments are on that, no? And there's a curve that I like it very much, which is the curve of the workforce, right? The total workforce is shrinking. If you take Germany, in 10 years, you will lose 5 million workers. And there's no way to compensate that with the newborns, right? So in the end, what can you do for that? I mean, you can bring people from outside, but this has its limits. And the other solution is that one person does two things at the same time, right? Which is a bit what freelancers does, right? So it solves one of the problems that the economy will have in the future. So
exactly.
So maybe exactly as a speaker, I will ask if there's somebody from the government, please fix that, right? Because it will help us to grow in the future.
Yeah, and freelancers and companies, they drive innovation, and this innovation will turn to the whole economy. So it's very important that the government does something there to help freelancers gain access to companies easier and to be freelancer easier. Yeah, right.
Right, precisely, right, and the companies start to realize that freshness that the freelancer brings, right?
Exactly.
So I mean, we both are very convinced, right, about that. But we see companies getting every day getting more into the game, right?
Yeah.
Still a journey to do, but we are on the way.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stephanie, go ahead.
No, wanted to say something, Pau?
Well, I'm not sure if we are also talking about how we can help there, right? How we can contribute to as a platforms to the market?
Yeah, sure. This will be my next question, since we have here two representatives of freelance platforms. And Thomas also mentioned freelance platform, like it's a benefit in order to find freelancers. And how can freelance platform, I mean, we have today two of them here, but there are a lot out there, and how they can help or contribute to this blended workforce.
And there, you said it right. Here are only two platforms.
Two, yeah, it means it's a universal.
What I see on the market is that this number is increasingly so high. So there are a lot of freelancer platforms coming up right now, and this is also something where you can see that the market is going through a change. That there is a big view on this whole freelancing stuff, and freelancer platforms like ours give a quick access to the global talent, because companies who don't use freelancers in the past, they have to go to their HR department, and they have a lot of talks with people, and it needs like round about 3 to 6 months to hire an employee. But when they use like Outvise or freelancermap or any other platform, they can go there, enter their needs, and quickly get access to a talent, right?
And building on that, in the end, we as a platforms, we are disrupting the market somehow.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And I see like two industries that are being disrupted. On one side, the consulting companies, for example, right? I mean, I was just talking to a client. They were paying 4,000 euros a day for a consultant, right? I mean, that's something that could be done by an expert, a freelance expert with much more experience, right?
Yeah.
And there is where we play a game, right? We really can make the pricing more reasonable. That's on one side.
And transparent.
And
transparent.
Exactly, and transparent, so that everybody knows what wins, right? And there is a second also business that we disrupt, which are the agencies, right? The agencies that have, I don't know, 200 people that take this agenda with 200 people and they call them, right? I mean, we have tens of thousands, right? Or hundreds of thousands. I don't know, Thomas, how much do you have in your platform? You have 150, right? It's mindless. It's another level. So the chances to have somebody who fulfills your requirements much higher, much better talent out of that. Yeah. I don't know, Thomas, if you want to add something to that.
That's exactly on point. I would just add the scalability that we offer companies, right? To say, oh, we have a new product on the market and we need like 20 marketeer specialists. So that this is something that we as platforms can provide, and it's very different for companies if they use their old role model and old business model to find talent, right? Right, exactly. So still both models will coexist with our model, right, with a platform. Yeah. But we will grab a share of the market for sure, because it's not functioning, the pricing and the matching, right? Yeah. We're like bridging the gap between the traditional workforce models and the now emerging freelancer market, right? That's what I would say. And sometimes I like to say that we democratize talent, right? Yeah. Because suddenly like a medium enterprise, I mean, maybe they cannot pay, and I'm gonna generate now, right? They cannot pay the rates of a McKinsey super consulting firm, right? Yeah. Suddenly can have that person working as an independent and they can pay that rates, right? So that medium companies have access to talent that before it was prohibitive. It completely out of mind to pay that fees, right? You can search on freelancermap for freelancers who worked for McKinsey, for example, and then you find a talent that worked there and you will get it cheaper. Precisely. Quick hack.
Just a tip.
Yeah. If companies need to use this in the new blended workforce, this is the model of the future, and it's already there. And as you said, Paul, the good companies, the smart companies are using that model right now, And all these companies who are not agile enough to use such a model will have massive problems in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if we have a representative of companies here, maybe I take the chance and present another insights from our study. Talent platform like freelance platforms like freelancermap, Outvise, and the other out there are the second most used channel for freelancers to present themselves. So company, they have like free resource out there to look for freelancers, so they should also use it. And since we have spoken about platforms, and we have here two examples, how do you think that freelancers can use this platform, this resource, to become more relevant and to increase the chance of landing project? We have seen, thanks to the results, that project acquisition is going to be a bit harder now. And how could they use a platform to land more projects?
Thomas, if you want
to... No problem. This is the classic question when registering at a freelance platform. So the first thing is ever optimize your profile. So fill in all your skills, fill in your bio. This is very, very important. Some people are too lazy and they say, we'll do that later. Yeah, I know that. And you start making a profile and it lacks a lot of vital information. Use a professional photo, please. So have a good profile that represents you and all your strengths. Yeah. And also very important, try to collect and display testimonials. Yeah. Ask your project leaders from past projects about some reviews and positive feedback, and display that also there. And of course, if this is the one thing, how to present yourself, and then the next thing is, what's your price? Yeah. Try to find a competitive pricing strategy. Yeah, try to find out what is the price for my skill set, for my experience that I bring in a company. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with this, Thomas. Right? I mean, one of the things that I really hate is that profiles that are totally generalistic. Right? The guys that in the end, what they do is they fulfill the profile with all the keywords. Right? And you are agile coach, you are product owner, you are a developer at the same time. So in the end, our machines are not able to understand who you are, right? Yeah. And you have to understand who you are. It has to be sharp. People are looking for experts, not for journalistic people. So, and these experts means that the data that the platform has to be properly populated, right? Today we had a register in the platform that only put payment expert. Jesus, what's a payment expert, right?
Okay.
I mean, it's great, but I mean, just with this keyboard, I cannot do anything, right?
Yeah.
Which, of course, if I have an Excel sheet with 20 people only, that's something which is manageable. When Thomas has 200,000 people and searches for an agile coach, he will get maybe 30,000 people that an agile coach is as a keyword, right? So you have to build rich profiles, and you have to really understand who you are and how you want to sell yourself. And this is the point, and this is a very, very, and a very, very healthy exercise you also to do, right?
Yeah.
And then the issue is the price. I mean, I really agree with you. People have to have a reasonable price, and each position has its reasonable price. You don't have to be very cheap, because then it's suspicious. Why are you so cheap? But you also have to be very expensive, because it won't be sustainable. I mean, it happens that there's people that have clients with a lot of trust and with whom they can pay a very high price. I mean, okay, ticking the box. But at the moment that you compete with everybody, prices are the ones of the market, and you have to understand how the market is paying that position. And then if you think that it's too low, then you have to modify your skills and then try to go for another positions. But I agree with you. It's very, very important that you put the proper price.
Yeah. And also you have to stay active, so be in touch with people, and it's always the same thing. Don't be too lazy with everything you do on a marketplace. So if there's this one tip, then be active, don't be lazy. Yeah, have a good profile, fill in your tools and your skills, not tools that you don't use. This, some people do. I programmed PHP 15 years ago. Nobody wants to know that.
Oh.
but show us what you're doing right now and where you're good at, and do it so good as possible, and maybe do it better than your competitor.
Yeah, I always say that the difference between a recruiting of a headhunter or a fixed position is based on a curriculum. The recruiting of the freelancer is based on the 3 top projects you have, like the last 3 top projects you have done.
Yes.
The last projects are the one who defines who you are. What you've done 5 years ago, nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Freelancers often should try to think as a recruiter. I know that's not easy, but you have to try or speak with recruiters or headhunters or project providers or companies. Try to get in their heads and see that your profile like they do.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you. And we have spoken during the presentation of the report results about, of course, artificial intelligence is a topic. And it's also a topic when we speak about freelance platform, of course. And freelancers are already benefiting from artificial intelligence tools and softwares. How could artificial intelligence on freelance platforms enhance their experience and help them with their freelancing career and finding clients and projects? Or maybe do you already have some examples you can give?
But Thomas, if you want to give just 2 minutes on that, right? I mean, I think more or less we said, so the way we applied are in 2 angles, right? One is understand well what the clients want. So we expect that we improve understanding what they want, because this is not clear at all sometimes. So that's number 1. And number 2 is trying to improve the whole matching process, right? The whole matching process is about what we said before, having a very sharp profile, very well defined, not hundreds, thousands of keywords, right? But the ones that are really important. And the second that we put in the question, and this is, I'm not sure to what extent, I assume maybe yes, Thomas, that applies to you, which is the crunching the whole feedback of the clients, so that in the end we better understand the quality of a certain profile. I don't know, Thomas, if you want to be
you mentioned one thing that I would put really on its first point, and that is personalized job recommendations, better matching. So it would be in a perfect world, you just write your profile on a platform and you get automatic perfect jobs without any search or anything. Just lay back and you get jobs. And I have two points that would like to stand out with a topic AI on platforms. And the one thing is the skill gap analysis that could be very interesting for freelancers. If we can do like artificial intelligence analysis about all our profiles, because you mentioned it, we round about have 200,000 in our database, and we could say, hey, you're a PHP developer, but you don't have any knowledge about Symfony. Why not try to enhance your skills and do some learning about all that stuff? Yeah, so we can help freelancers gain more skills. And the other thing is something that has to do with our question we answered before. It's the what is my price? What is the perfect price? And this is also something that we can predict with AI, so that we say, hey, we have like 100 freelancer profiles with your skill set in your region. We can tell you should make your hourly wage a few bucks higher.
Yes,
this is something that I think could be very, very interesting for freelancers on platforms regarding AI.
Yeah, rates are always an awful topic. I think for the most of the freelancers, it's always difficult to discuss, define the rate. So yeah, it would be really helpful there. But yeah, would you like to add something on this?
No. I think no.
AI is such a big topic. We can talk hours about it.
Yeah. I mean, just remind you, we just sent today a feature that alerts you if the price is too high or too low, right? That's you have accepted it. Sorry, if you go for that, you have to tune your pricing, right? Because you said, man, it is very important topic and very complex, depending on the domain that you work, depending on the location where you work. It's not obvious at all what are the prices that the clients wants to pay for a certain position.
Yeah, since we've jumped in the price topic, yes, we've seen that freelancers are not only local right now; it's a global phenomenon, and they are working for the whole world, so to say. How can they be competitive in such a big market, such a global market, and be able at the end to have clients and to land jobs?
Yeah, good one.
Good one. Yeah.
Entering global markets, and setting competitive rates that match one's skills and knowledge. It's a combination, I think, about research, about self-awareness, about strategic decision making. Right, you have to research some global rates. You have to look out what is the pricing in this market, and what are the skills that are demanded there. There's also, am I needed in this market? Yeah, it's also are there enough projects in this market and all that stuff. You have to check that. Legal and tax considerations. You may not forget that if you work on a global market, you have to adjust all that on about tax and legal stuff, and also of course the currency conversions, right?
Yeah, and maybe just to add something, right, to what you say, to some extent. Yeah, it's not obvious to work in a market that you have not worked before, right?
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know, it's very important to get insights about what are the rates that the market is paying there. Maybe it's good that, I know, you use LinkedIn or some other platforms to get in contact with people who's working there, and understand a bit the dynamics of that market, right? Because there might be some myth that, like, for example, that, I don't know, that if you go to Middle East, you can sell it for tons of thousands of euros a day, and that might not be the case for certain positions, or simply misunderstandings, right? Saying, look, I don't know, if a client of, let's play Switzerland, for example, which is a country place that normally fees are relatively high, right? Maybe searching to, I don't know, to south of Europe, right? When they are searching because they want to have good prices, not to pay the same that they will be paying in Switzerland, right? So you have to understand a bit the dynamics of the proposal that the client is doing, the country itself, and why they are searching, why they are accepting somebody from remote, right? So you have to analyze pretty well the each case, right?
Patience and persistence. You have to really give that time. It's not something that you can do right on the fly. It's not, oh, Spain is such a beautiful place to work. I think I will check projects there as a freelancer. I'm free. So it's right. I don't think it's that easy. You have to really have a good look and to research this market.
Yeah. And also networking and connecting with other freelance peers in that region. And I think a lot of freelance platforms doing like a really good job there, like creating communities like you at Outvise are also doing. So creating community and create a space where they can exchange with each other and exchange information and tips and whatever. So I think it's also the trend that freelance platform are pursuing, like creating a freelance community, and it's also at the end could be the base for such a place to exchange information.
Yeah, tips. Definitely.
Yeah, and speaking about landing projects, landing new projects, what do you think? Which strategies could freelancers use or have to enhance the project's value when working for a client?
Deeply understand what a client really needs. That's the first thing. Yeah.
It's so on one side the value is the fees times the time that you spend, right? The length, right? So we spoke about the fees, and comes the time, right? So in the time somehow is, I mean, it's very important. I mean, normally the longer the project, the better, right? So I would always, we always ask about the flexibility, right? I mean, if this is a year project, and this is a long-term project, right? And maybe the third part of the equation is the content itself of the project. So to what extent what you will be doing will serve you to somehow increase your value as a freelancer, and maybe be able to next time to go to another level of profiles, right? So I don't know if the company is called Apple, right? So you will have a much better profile than if the company is called another thing. So maybe for Apple you should show a bit of more flexibility, right? Or if the content of the project is a totally new innovative project, I mean, maybe then you have to show a bit of flexibility. So you need to have a bit of also mid-term view or long-term view on the kind of asset that you are creating while being in a project.
Yeah, and I think it's good if you provide some consultative insights. So if you help your customer, so mostly the customer has this project in mind, and he hires you as a talent, but you bring so much experience with you, and it's good if you offer your client some advice and be proactive and help him gaining more than just that what he wants. Yeah, and this I think will build some long-term relationships with these customers and do some after sales support. This is also important. Mostly freelancers are I finish my project and all done, but be more there for the client, help them afterwards, ask if everything okay. Maybe you get a follow-up project, right? And yeah, be professional. That's also very, very interesting. Meet your deadlines, make some quality assurance, for God's sakes. I don't know why it's
and then just taking this, and then be aware that we use all the feedback data for profiling candidates next time, right? So the same that when you go to an hotel and you say, hey, the hotel tells you, hey, please put me, or a restaurant, right? Put me a good recommendation. It's important also that we as a platform get good feedback from clients. So push clients to provide feedback about you to the platforms.
Yes.
Yeah,
the more good feedback you have from better companies, the more is your price. That is really easy.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you, Thomas and Pau. And also connecting again to the results of our freelancer report, we have seen that at the moment there is like an uncertainty among freelancers because of the current economic and political situations. And maybe from both of you, one or two, a couple of tips, how could freelancers find and secure projects during such a period?
Yeah. Difficult, but I got some points here. I try to make it short. I think it's important to diversify the skill set of a freelancer. So try to maybe develop some new skills. be more visible, so strengthen your online presence, join networks that you have never been before, update your profiles, and why not try to make some content creation, do webinars, be more visible. And also you have to make a good financial management in these times. You have to try to reduce your overhead costs. I mean, do you go to a co-working space or like that? You have to check out if there are expenses and streamline your operations. Paul, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree with you. I have almost nothing to add. Maybe what I would say is that I mean, a crisis has its length, right? So I mean, it will last, I don't know, 2 quarters, 3, 4 quarters, but it will come back, right? And normally the curve of the freelancers has a bit of delay with the curve of the employment.
Yes.
So if you have to fire someone first, you will fire the freelancer. But if you have to hire someone because the economy is pushing back, first you will fire a freelancer. You will hire a freelancer. So it'll be the first to be fired, but the first to be hired. So in the end, what you have to understand is that if things look bad, priority number 1 is the time. Go for lengthy projects, because if so, I would prioritize that in front of the price. So then it's a matter of, you know, like a turtle that put your head. Wait a couple of quarters, and then you can go away. Go again out, right? So I don't know, just to give a tip.
Yeah. Rule number 1: stay positive and resilient.
Yes.
Economic downturns are cyclical.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first and not the last one. So yeah.
But just something to add, right? I think the technology, we are on one of the best sectors, right? So I think it will be one of the last sectors to be impacted. I mean, it might be impacted, of course, right?
Probably. Yeah.
I think it's relatively safe, right?
Yeah. Great. So thank you very much, Pau and Thomas, for this insightful discussion. I think we could go on for hours discussing on certain topics, but we've also received a bunch of questions in our chat, and I think it would be good if we could go through them. We hope we can answer to all of them. If not, maybe feel free to get in touch through LinkedIn. Maybe we can share our contact details at the end, and we can discuss also some questions maybe in another session. So the first questions was from Javier. Is thing that freelancers, of course, are working for different companies at the same times, and that sometimes there's a strange atmosphere there in terms of confidentiality. And he asks, how could freelancer generate more confidence towards company if company have concerns about confidentiality?
Interesting question, right? So first of all, you sign an NDA, right? And never heard that.
Maybe that's the first point, right? If make sure you have an NDA, right?
Yeah, and with more.
Yeah, maybe.
Is this atmosphere coming from the employees? That would be interesting. I don't know why there should be a strange atmosphere, because I think you're not working for Apple and Google at the same time, or
right, exactly.
like competitors. So
this should happen. I think that's the point, right? To make sure that, hey guys, I'm not working for the competition, right? At the same time, this would be a bit weird.
Yeah. You have to put on the company hat. So I'm your freelancer right now, and this is when I'm working at your company, I'm 100% your company. So you have to show them that and give them no reason to have doubts about it.
Yeah, thank you. And then Robert is asking, how can freelancers contribute to teach the market, to teach the companies about the benefits of having freelancers?
Spread the word.
Hmm.
Spread the word. Yeah.
We invest a lot of money on that, right? Teaching companies, explain the benefits of the freelancers, right?
It's I think it's not the freelancers' work to do that. It's our job, Paul. And,
yeah,
and
definitely.
yeah, but what could a freelancer do? Yeah, you you can apply to some perm jobs and say, hey, I'm a freelancer. Why not try that?
I mean, what I can tell is that whatever clients we have had with a super enlightening experience, they repeat for sure.
Yeah.
So in the end, it's a service. You can only test a service when you use it. So if the freelancer provides a very good service, for sure the client will understand that.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Then we have, I think this is for you, Thomas, maybe, or also for Pau regarding freelancing in Germany. Dennis is saying that it's becoming more difficult in Germany due to changes regarding pseudo self-employment since 2019. It's a common topic here in Germany. And companies are more careful and made a shift to hire freelancer over an agency instead of hiring him directly, and this make it, of course, more expensive for the companies to hire freelancer. The question is, how do you think it will change in the future?
Oh, the infamous Scheinselbstständigkeit.
This difficult German word.
It's, I think, impossible
I learned it.
to say for an outsider. Yeah. How do you think it will change in the future? I think it has to be changed in the future, but it's very difficult. It's a 100% political theme, and I talked to people who are like very near politicians from German parties, and the thing that I often heard was, yeah, they know that there is like this problem, but they have so much other stuff right now to do that is so uninteresting for them, and the problem is, of course, it's about they want to have people who choose them, and yeah, the IT freelancers are too the community is too small to move it right now. This
Yeah.
but it will change because they know they made a mistake with it. What they did was completely wrong, and it hit the wrong people. They want to help people that don't get much money, like Uber drivers or and now every IT consultant with over 100 euros per hour is like in this pseudo self-employment. This is totally wrong, and it has to change, and I think it will change, but it won't be in the next year.
No, I agree. I mean, I think it's not sustainable for what we said before. There is no people out there.
Yeah.
There, we want that people retire every year with more longevity, with being more years on the working space. So there's no solution that people has to freelance. So on one side you're pushing for that, and then you're punishing.
Yeah.
And this is somehow. I mean, the problem is that the market is fragmented, right? It's not an aggregated, super big freelancer made out of 10,000 small freelancers, right? That can talk to the government.
Yeah.
The problem is that we are totally disaggregated.
Yeah.
But it's clearly not sustainable, so it has to change.
It's such a last word to this topic. It's such a paradox thinking, because the politicians are standing there. Oh, we need technical innovations, and we need our companies to get more innovation and more technical. And you sit there and think, yeah, we have freelancers who will help you here, but you punish these guys. Yeah, why do you do that? And yeah, it's paradox.
Paradox, yes. We cannot say anything else, right?
Yeah.
Difficult topic. Okay. Yeah, we also have very interesting questions about what changes in HR or in the management style have you seen in companies that have adapted to hiring freelancers? So are there any special new roles specialized in hiring freelancers, because it's different than hiring like a full-time employee? And yeah, the question is if you could see some changes in these sectors.
No, I mean, I mean, we see that somehow the market is getting educated, right? And what we see is that the whole Anglo-Saxon, especially driven by the US at the very beginning, is quite mature on the use of freelancers, right? So I think it's an issue. I don't know if it's a big issue.
I have seen at some companies that there is like a little problem, because if department, for example, a tech department of a company needs a new employee, they go to the HR department and say, hey, we need this new guy. And there's something new happening right now. If they say, hey, we want to try a freelancer, the HR department says, no, we are not responsible for freelancers. You can do that by yourself. And that is something that is good, I think, because the leaders of a tech department, for example, can search and find freelancers and get them directly without going the whole way through HR and all that stuff. So
maybe what's true is that we've heard some new positions called like contingency workforce management.
Yeah.
There is some companies that have this position.
This is big companies.
Yeah, I mean, not many, but some of them, which somehow they are the ones who manage freelancers. But as you say, most of the time is managed directly by the business owner, right? And it's true that sometimes, especially large corporates, they get used to some profiles, to some people, right? And somehow that people has to also be integrated. So there is a role of integration. There is a role, but at least my experience, I have not seen a lot of companies with such a role.
Okay. Yeah, very nice. I think the time is getting over almost. It's always or almost an hour, and maybe we have time for just one short question to end these nice discussions. Someone is getting worried if there will be enough clients and projects, since the number of freelancers is getting higher and higher, if there will be enough jobs for clients and projects for everyone.
No worries.
What are you doing?
A data point. Job vacancies in technology in Germany. So in the Q1 last year, you had 100,000 new people required in tech. That has multiplied by 2 in the last 5 years. It's amazing the number of tech people that you need, right? At least in this space. Other spaces, I don't know.
Yeah, we hope so for every freelancer.
Yeah, you see it, and Paul also said it before. There, the missing employees or the lack of skilled workers is getting bigger and bigger. So, yeah, it's the best time for IT tech guys to be in the freelancing scene.
Yeah.
Point.
Very nice. Okay, thank you. Yeah, the time is over. Yeah, I'm afraid we couldn't read all the questions, but as I said, feel free. I think Thomas and Pau are with me. Feel free to reach out maybe on LinkedIn to connect with us.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you for these insightful discussions, and thank you everyone for attending this webinar today. And maybe see you in the next webinar.
Perfect.
Yes. Sure.
Thank you very much.
So,
bye.
Have a nice day.